Hey, welcome in. This is Alex, aka Dizneyverse Redbeard variant. Recording. This is going to be a combination of week 6, week 7. I live in Florida. I was part of the Milton hurricane. My studio got flooded. So I had to fix my studio, get it back up and running, and now I can record the episode. So if you don't know who I am, my name is Alex, aka Redbeard Variant, and I am part of the Dizneyverse podcast. We are a Disney history podcast, and every week we take something history, a attraction, a hotel, a restaurant, a cruise, and we talk about it in detail, movies, characters, all that stuff. And it's a really fun time. And we put together a Patreon Fantasy Football League, and that's what we have going on here, the Dizneyverse Fantasy Football League. And, putting together weekly output just to talk about what happened, what's going to happen, where the standings, and all that jazz. So I'm going to get into it because I have to fit a lot in this video. I don't want it to be longer than an hour if I can help it, even though I'm doing so much. So I'm going to go really fast. We're going to do a quick look at week 6. So a quick look at week 6. We have the matchups. It was No New Friend Scott versus the Historians, aka the hosts, me and my co-host. And looking at here, you're like, wow, how did they end up winning? Well, it was a low scoring week, 91 to 89. Low scoring week for both of us. We were projected over 100. And it really just was what player was going to do the worst and what player was going to do the least. So luckily, I had Dobbins, who outscored himself by 7, and Walker outscored himself by 4. And he only had Dalton and Diggs, who combined outscored themselves for 6. So that was the real difference right there. Unfortunately for Scott, he did not play Mixon, who was a late go. He was originally scratched, was not going to play, and then late in Sunday, they decided that, yeah, he's going to play today. And he ended up going off, getting 26 points, going with touchdown, passing, and catching. And if he would have played him instead of Mason, that would have been the difference right there. But that's why I always check my lineups at 12, 15, 12, 30 and double check all my players to make sure I have the right ones in. Let's look at Lady Champs and King of the North. We have Lady Champs winning 93 to 68. Kind of a blowout, even though King of the North is trying very hard to stay up with it. Unfortunately, Zay White ended up doing nothing, which is surprising. He did not play those 2 games. He did not play against Denver or Pittsburgh. So I guess he's hurt. Got to make those changes. Myers didn't play him. Moss didn't play. Got 0 points. That's crazy. Oh, fumble lost. Barely played against that. So unfortunately for King of the North, he's not looking at Sundays to double check his team. A lot of they finished -1. That's crazy. But Lady of the Champs, 97 points. Great. Hurts, Madison going off. London's good. Bowers is great. Moss is maybe going to be the back burner running back. I think he lost his starting job that week. And it was confirmed this week that it's definitely Chase. So, whatever. Okay, so Lady Champs her team is still decent. She has some bye weeks. So, get through the bye weeks. We have Big Beautiful Diz for Team Maverick Miggs. And Big Beautiful Diz keeps his winning streak going along. He scores 101 versus a 70 for Mibs. Of course, still out. Taylor was a late out, so I understand why that player is. Nakua has been hurt for a while. He's finally going to come back soon. You had options to trade them out. So Caleb Winston went off for 14 points, and you could have had him on there, but you had him on your bench, unfortunately. So, but Big Beautiful Diz still rolling strong. Purdy, Henry's like crazy good still. It's insane. Lamb didn't have a great game. Jacobs didn't have a great game. Metcalf didn't have a great game. And he still put up 100 points. So good for him. On his bench, not much to do there. Rodgers still back. Don't know why you have 3 quarterbacks. I think you're waiting to see what Rodgers did. So moving forward, we got Shooters versus Kuda Matata. And Shooters scored 115 versus Kuda Matata 96. And Shooters, I think, scored the most that week, if I'm looking at the scores. Yeah, he scored the most that week. Josh Allen went off, Brees Hall went off, Swift went off, Allen went off. I mean, it didn't matter what you did, you're not going to stop him. He even had a scratch Collins, and he still put up 115. Like it was, he had two players who scored nothing. He still put up 115. Like he just had a crazy week. Um, so unfortunately, Kuna Matata did not have a chance this week. And look, he was projected 77 1 for 115. Insane. Chase only got 9. Chase, of course, made up for it the next week. Laporta did well again. Ayuk is hurt, I think. So everyone's got to play the waiver. We have heavyweights versus Team Kalina, and Team Kalina win 84-72. And they both had scratches at the first running back position. She didn't have Neighbors. He didn't have Kelsey. Didn't have defenses either. Wow. He didn't have a wide receiver. Still ended up winning despite all that and putting up 84 points. The Stroud, Kamara, Kittle, Godwin. Geez, those numbers. I can't believe you put up 84 with that little amount of players being played. Guys, you got to get your players situated. The season's still young. Like, heavyweights, you're 3-4. If you would have made these changes with Kelsey, defense, and Mostert, you could have won. You could be 4-4 right now. You got to make these changes, especially with other people making mistakes like this. So that's week 6. Let's go on to week 7. And that is the current week. So we're looking at week 7, which is the week results of the game that just happened. And before we do that, let's go down and look at who did what. So if we go up here. So we have the best manager was Akuta Matata. She had 93% of her projected to be correct. So she was projected 110. She ended up scoring 102. Unfortunately, worst manager was John, as normal. Biggest blowout was the Historians versus King of the North, 115-82, 40% difference. And the nearest victory was, look at those scores. Wow. Scott Maffei, 135. Lady in the Chance with the 124. That was a close game, unfortunately, for Lady and Champs. I mean, if she would have played anyone else that week, I think she would have ended up winning any of those weeks. Wow. And, of course, Maffei was the overachiever. So he definitely overachieved, ended up beating Lady and the Champs. So let's look at the actual games. We'll go to the bottom. We got heavyweights versus John. And if we look at the teams here, John had the top benched defense right here. But he's still working with so many players. I'm not even looking at John's team right now. He's 0-7. He still has empty spots on his roster for every game. So I'm not even looking at him anymore. What I'm going to look at is the team he played to see how well they looked up their lineup. And heavyweights, he made sure every player was playing. Tank Dell somehow got 0 points. What? Tank Dell tallied the second most targets on the team, but failed to haul in any of them. So he had 4 targets, but didn't catch a single one. That's very unfortunate for you. So you did not make a mistake there. You played Burrow, you played Mostert, you played Montgomery. Montgomery didn't have a great game. Evans got hurt. So he's going to be out for 3 games. Wow, that's unfortunate for Evans. Brian Thomas is coming on. Oh, Cooper Kupp is still out. So you still have a player who's out, but Cooper Kupp is finally going to come back soon. So they should be back here soon. So now it's just like set up your lineups. You had Goff on your bench. You went for 18 over Burrow, but like I would not have played Goff over Burrow, especially against Cleveland, who's been terrible. And then Goff was playing Minnesota. Like I wouldn't have made that change to keep it. But like I'm surprised Jamal Williams is on your bench. He's been playing so well. And then Pacheco can still go on your IR. He is IR. Put him on your IR. Allow yourself to pick up another player on the waivers, you know? So 64 points is not great, but fortunately for you, we're playing as John. You're 3-4. You're still in this, heavyweights. You're still in this. Hit the waivers. Put Pacheco on your IR and try to pick up players. You have quarterbacks. You have wide receivers. All your poor players are getting back. Except, unfortunately, Evans is out for 3 weeks, but now you're getting cut back to replace him. So, like, you're still in this. Let's go to the next one. We got Team Kalina versus First Legion. First Legion win 106.26 to 87.24. Unfortunately, was not that even. Stroud had a terrible game, not like himself at all. So you can't really say anything about that. Like, that just happens. It just happens sometimes. So can't say too much about that, unfortunately for you. Kamara had a low game. Neighbors had it was a really low game for people this week. Players went low. Godwin got hurt. He is done for the season. You can just let him go. Unfortunately, he broke his leg. Was not good at all. And so you can just drop Godwin at this point. Godert is out for week 7, so he should be back soon. So do you have a replacement? You have Palmer, who is only 55, 59%. I don't love that, but he is getting production. So Sutton had 0. How did Sutton have 0? Bale's recorded catch was out there for 86%. That's not likely. That shouldn't happen. And then Jerry Jeudy is the number 1 wide receiver for Cleveland right now. Unfortunately, they played a really good Bengals defense. They played really well this week. And Deshaun Watson got hurt and is going to be out for a little bit. That's fine because they have not Deshaun Watson, I'm sorry. Deshaun Watson. Yeah, Deshaun Watson. But they have a young quarterback they're trying out. Jeudy was in for 95%. That's good. Don't drop Jeudy. Go ahead and drop Godwin, but try to find a replacement for Godwin if you can on the waivers. Just grab another wide receiver. You have all these wide receivers. This running back is nobody. Drop them. You don't need them. Hit waivers. I'll keep Schultz. I'll keep Palmer. I'll keep Jeudy. I'll keep Sutton. Drop Wright. Drop Godwin. Grab more players to replace those players. But your wide receivers, like Neighbors is good. Kamara's good. White's good. Like, you're good on that spot. Stroud is good, so you're good there. 51st Legion. Didn't even look at you. Palmer. So you have Patrick Mahomes. Not a great game, but they won the game. That's all that matters for him. Robinson had a great game. Connor had a great game. McLaurin had a great game. Wilson had a good game. Even though now he's the number 2 wide receiver, it might open it up more for him because now people are going to look at Adams more. You got Pitts, who had a good game. Shakir had a good game, despite them adding another wide receiver to that core. And then you got Smith-Njigba, who did have a great game, but he was out there a lot. I mean, he's young, 85%. I would keep starting him. Baltimore defense, that's good. Like, you're set. You have a good team. You have Coleman. You have Coleman and Shakir. So I think I would off this. Okay. If you are not, I repeat, if you are not 51st Legion, go ahead and plug your ears. Fast forward 10 seconds, whatever you need to do. 51st Legion, trade Keon Coleman. He just went for 14 points, 75%. He was in the news because he told Adams what to do, and Adams scored a touchdown. So, like, his name is out there. Trade him now while you can. Keep Shakir, who's playing decent as well. Try to trade him for probably a running back. You don't have one on your bench, really. So maybe trade him for a running back. I don't know who you can get at this point for Keon Coleman. I would maybe trade for like a handcuff running back in case someone gets hurt. Or if you don't want to do that, drop Shakir. You have Coleman, and go grab more players off the waiver. You don't need to have both. Okay, so next on we have Big Beautiful Diz versus Akuna Matata. And Big Beautiful Diz continued his winning streak with a 128 over 102. And it was good. Good stuff. Brock Purdy went off. Kyle Murray, that was a great matchup right there. Unfortunately, Henry had a big game. Big game for Henry. Big game for Jacobs, even though Jones had a great game as well. Dude, Jones looked so good this week. Like, he did not look like he hit 29-year-old out there. Stevenson had a terrible game. No idea what happened to Stevenson. Played half the game. But, like, he didn't get hurt. So, I don't understand what happened with him. So, unfortunately, you got 3 out of him. Let's see here. Higgins had a great game. Brown had a great game. Kraft had a great game. Laporta had a low game. It's going to happen for tight ends. Mooney, Ayuk is hurt. What's Ayuk? Torn ACL and MCL? Oh, my God. I didn't even see this. He's donezo. Drop him. Wow. Drop Ayuk. Wow, that's unfortunate for you. Do you have someone to replace him? Um, Not really. You really don't have a replacement. I would at this point I would go get a wide receiver for San Francisco. Um, I would probably go get a Jawan Jennings if he's out there, which he's already on Big Will's team, so never mind. Richie Pearsall is a rookie. He might have a chance to go out. He was 76% of the snaps against Kansas City. Go get Rippy Pearsall to replace your Ayuk. Okay, 1-for-1 trade. Like drop Ayuk, pick up Pearsall, or pick up Pearsall, and then the player you release is Ayuk. Do that trade now, and then look at your other players and see who you might want to drop to pick up other people to maybe become that real wide receiver. But he's your flex, so like that's a good flex to have. Someone who's on the field for 75% of the game. Chase Brown is breaking out, 60%, 58%. He's having good games. So against his next games, Philadelphia, Las Vegas, Baltimore Chargers, not great defenses. Las Vegas, not bad, but those aren't great. But if you look at back half here after the bye, projected 10, 9, 10, 10, then I think that projections go up as he gets more reps because, like I said, Moss did not play a lot last game. So, okay, so like, yeah, looking good. They didn't really have much. Tank Bisbee went off for 2 touchdowns. I mean, I don't love playing backups. 66%. So is he not the backup anymore? He is a starter over Travis Etienne. That is official. Wow. Oh, hamstring injury. He was inactive. Bigsby ended up playing 12-15. You should have made that change. And then you could have put him over Downs. Definitely. Keep Mooney in because Mooney's playing so many percentage of the snaps. Downs is playing a lot too, but not nearly as much as Mooney. Yeah. So I mean, yeah, definitely make that change next time. But I mean, you're winning, so don't worry about it, I guess. Next we have Stroop the Whoop versus Team Maverick Miggs. And we got Stroop the Whoop with a win of 72 over 47. Even though Miggs had Lamar Jackson 34 points, you had you have 3 zeros right there, man. 3 zeros, 4 zeros. It's never gonna happen for you if you keep doing that. You're 3-4. You're not out of it. Like you're not out of it. You just have to hit the waivers and make sure you change some stuff. Daniels got hurt, but he should come back. And like we've told you before, trade one of them. You don't need Daniels and Lamar Jackson. Trade one of them. Trade one of them and go get yourself a running back because you do not have a second. You have Taylor and Etienne, which is great, but Etienne's hurt. Taylor's always hurt. You need another running back. Ford's not the guy there. It's I'm sorry, it's Chubb. So like you don't need Ford anymore except for handcuffs, so he's not starting anymore. You don't need Watson and Wicks. We told you this multiple times. You don't need 3 quarterbacks. Drop Levis, trade Daniels, go get a running back. Over here on this side for Choop Whoop, you had Allen who did decent. Hall went off finally. Singletary did have a great game. I don't know why. 20%, I guess, coming off of injury. Uh, Tracy had 67. He's a rookie. I don't know. I don't know if he's going to be taking over for Singletary moving forward. Um, Keep an eye on that. Maybe don't start Singletary if you don't have to. Maybe start. I want to start Channel over him. Yeah, Swift. So it's a buy. So start Swift over him. That's keep him on the bench and see what happens. Singletary. Debo got hurt as well. He was released from the hospital on Tuesday. Wow. I did not see this highlight, so I did not watch the highlights. Pneumonia like illness, so he was just sick. Okay. So he should be back, if not this week, by next week. So Collins is injured reserve. Put him on your injured reserve. He's out for a few weeks. And pick up more players. Joku had a great game. Joku had such a good game that he was our Titan. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I forgot to upload my images this week. Oh my gosh. I got myself ready and I was like, let's record. I forgot to upload my images. It was not Duck Craft. our player of the week was Njoku for the tight ends. He played so well. He scored 18.6 points and he got 10 receptions and a touchdown. So he was our tight end of the week. And Lamar Jackson for Maverick Miggs was our quarterback of the week. He put up 34 points, as you can see. He threw for 281 yards with 5 passing touchdowns. It was insane. He went crazy against Tampa Bay. So yeah, you have a good team. You're 4-3. Once you make those changes, hit the waivers. You have Swift and Allen to put back in next week. You have Houston's defense, who's always decent. Yeah, you just want to grab more wide receivers to replace the ones that were hurt. But you should be good moving forward. Lady in the Champs versus No New Friend Scott. This is the one that both teams, I mean, if we look at the Lady in the Champs, she scored 124. She would have won this game, this one. She would have won this game. She would have lost Big People Diz by 4. She would beat everyone else in the league except for those 2 players. So, a very good game for both them. And you know why? Because No New Friend Scott had the best running back, Jamar Gibbs, went out for 30 points. He ran for 116 yards and 2 touchdowns. Also caught 4 receptions for 44 yards. That's 11 receptions a catch, 11 yards a catch. Quick math skills. But he also had the top defense. He grabbed the defense against New Orleans. They end up getting 6 sacks, 2 forced fumbles, 2 fumble receptions, 2 fumble recoveries, and a touchdown. They went off for 22 points. That's insane. But if you look at this lineup here, he started off poor with Stafford, but like I wouldn't start in over Stafford. You don't have one to start over Stafford. So like just keep moving with Stafford. He's getting players back. He's going to get better as people come in. Hurts had a good game, but here you got the difference. A-Chain, Cook combined for 18.7 points, while Gibbs and William combined for 49.6. Like it's insane difference there. Jefferson had a great game, but then Cooper had a decent game. His first game with the Bills. Your flex, you beat him in flex. London Bowers versus Diggs and Ertz. You had it there. Mixon went off 2 weeks in a row. Pickens had a good game. Lockett and Hill, good. I mean, they paired pretty well. Hill eventually will come back as Tua comes back. Lockett is decent. How much is snapping? He's decent. He's like the 3rd wide receiver right now. So, like, I don't know about starting him every week. Then you got Pittsburgh versus Denver. Denver went off. It was crazy. Baker Mayfield was our top quarterback on the bench. So he went off for 29. Your quarterback went 22. Never would make that change. Maybe try trade Baker to another team. A team that needs a quarterback. If you can find one, because Baker's playing so well for you, but you're never going to play him over Hurts. You're never going to. So like capitalize on that. Madison is doing well for the Raiders. 70%. He is the number 1. Zamir White's doing nothing. He's also hurt. And then Laub is doing nothing. So like White is the guy there for the Raiders. So I would be starting him every week. Definitely over that Lockett for sure. And then you got Zach Moss who's going down. Hopkins was questionable. Kmet is a good tight end. So like, yeah, you got a good team. Keep moving, ladies and champs. You're 5-2. Keep moving. Look at Historians versus King of the North. We had 115.62 versus 82.10. And, if you look here, Lawrence 15, Love 18. He won that battle. I won this battle by a lot. Unfortunately, Pollard did not do amazing. White did terrible, too. Coming back from injury. Harrison did not do great. And then look at these. Green. Barkley went off. Walker went off. St. Brown went off. That was a big difference right there. You're still playing Myers, who was inactive versus the Rams. I'm guessing it was a late inactive, and you just didn't make the change. He is the one wide receiver now moving forward, so I'll keep going with him as your wide receiver 2, I guess. McConkey is still decent as your flex, 86%, so keep him. He's doing well. Flowers didn't do great for me, even though Lamar threw 5 touchdowns. Flowers only had 1 reception. Like, what is happening for Flowers? He's out for 70% snaps. He's just like feast or famine. Kincaid is still not doing great. He's out there. He's just not getting the ball as much as last year. And then we got Robbins who went off for 13. Dobbins did not have a great game. I didn't watch the highlight. Like I said, I didn't watch a lot of highlights, but it was a good, close game back and forth. I don't know why he didn't do as much. I don't know why he didn't play as much. Um, I guess Vidal played 27%, so that was a difference. Even Haskins got in, so I don't know. I'm not going to worry about it. Atlanta went for 0 points. Come on, Atlanta. Philadelphia went for 16, so you won that matchup. Pittman's still playing decent. Look at those. That snap percentage is insane. Keep going with them, I would say. Benches. I wish I played Williams over a Dobbins, but, I don't think I planned on doing that. Williams has not been amazing. 13-3. I mean, 60% snap is not like the best. He just had a really good game. So I'm not sold on playing him every week. If somebody wants him, come get him. Adams, I got Adams waiting for him to do something. 90% snaps on his first game there. That's great. Really did nothing. Johnson did nothing. I have a defense on the bye. So, I mean, I really couldn't do much different other than running back, but I didn't win the game, so it doesn't matter. King of the North, you have on your bench Steele. I think Steele is a drop at this point. Akers is a drop at this point. Don't even think he's a backup. Yeah, Ty Chandler is a backup. So, like, you could drop Akers. You could drop Steele, I think. Because Hunt is just going off. I mean, maybe hold on to him just in check. But by the time Hunt, like, gets hurt or something, Pacheco's coming back. So, like, I don't know. Dobbs is decent. Olave was hurt. Miami's defense. So, yeah, just hit the waiver because your team did bad. I would not start White anymore. I would definitely start. I would definitely move. Oh man, you need running back. Hey, I'm selling a running back, and I could use a better wide receiver. So like, hit me up. I guess right. That's how you do things. All right, so that is week 7. Let's look at the standings really quick. Let's see, league standings. Sorry, I use my phone more than anything. So looking at the league standings, we have John with an 0-7, fantasy points 332, points against 755. Unfortunately, he is getting the most points scored on him, which is insane because he's scoring the least. So he doesn't have to be scored on that much, but somehow everyone goes off against John. So even if he was like playing better, I think he still would be 0-7. Disheartening there. King of the North, you are 1-6. 528 points for, 733 points against. Again, look at that points against. You have the second most points against. So like you're 1-6, but like of course you're 1-6. Everyone's going well at playing well against you. Pick this number up. This number is going to go down on average. Like it's going to go down eventually. 51st Legion, you're about middle of the tier, both things. You're 2-5. And then we have a 3-way tie for 3 and 4. Hakuna Matata, heavyweights, and Maverick Miggs. 3-way tie for 3-4. And we got 723 to 673, 611 to 658, 593 to 619. That shows me Hakuna Matata should be better team right here. Look at that. Points for is more than points against. So on average, you're scoring more. How are you 3 and 4? Just unlucky. It will change for you. Then we have Shoop to Whoop by himself with a 4 and 3 against 75 to 688. So like that's good change for you. And we got Kalina 5 and 2, No Different Scott 5 and 2, Lineage Champs 5 and 2, and Historians 5 and 2. A 4-way tie for second place. So like you right here, 3 and 4, only 2 games out of being in second place. You're not far behind. Like it's not crazy. These teams, Historians, Lineage Champs, No Different Scott, Kalina, could have 2 bad weeks. You could have 2 good weeks, and then you're in second place. Like it's not insane. It looks like projection-wise, my team has scored the most out of everybody. But Swiggy, look at him, 624. He has the least amount of points scored against him. Oh, no. Maverick Mix has the most. But he has the second. So, of course, he's 6-1. That will change for you, and you will start losing. So, that's what I'm hoping for. So, a very good run right here. Can't wait to see how it goes. And if you're wondering how the playoffs work, if I go here to playoffs, it is the we have top two teams get a bye, and then 4 teams play. So that's the top 6 teams right here. So you want to be a top 6 team. So Street Root right now is at the top 6 team. So like these 3 and 4 teams, you can easily jump ahead and get as a top 6. Okay. Now that we got week 7 out of the way, bam, that's done. Let's look at projection of week 8. So, I'm sorry. Let me look at waivers. Let me tell you who was the top waiver players. So the top free agents right now are Russell Wilson. He got his first start for the Steelers, and he did not let people down. He scored 24.9 points by throwing over 250 yards with 3 passing touchdowns and a rushing touchdown. Good player. If you need a quarterback, go get him. Then you have the top running back was a third string running back. He only had 33% of the snaps for 2 weeks in a row, but he scored 13 points because he got a receiving touchdown. He also rushed for -2 yards. Don't pick him up. Wouldn't worry about it. I didn't even name him. That's how little it matters. Top wide receiver was Baltimore Rashad Bateman. Flowers did terrible. Bateman did well. He scored 20 points, over 120 receiving yards, and a touchdown. Top tight end was Jonnu Smith. He scored a touchdown for Miami. He got almost 100 receiving yards and a touchdown. That means he's being used in Miami. They're playing with backup quarterbacks. They got to get the ball out. So, if you need a tight end, he's a good pickup. And then you got top defense was the Los Angeles Rams. They scored 18 points with 3 interceptions, 1 forced fumble, and a defensive touchdown. They're playing pretty well. So those are some top free agents you can go after if you're in line for free agents. If I look at the players that are actually on the waivers, I go to running back. Tracy's averaging more more percentage snaps than the other running back for the Giants. So if you need a running back, go get him. Spares is the backup, so don't worry about him. Let's see. We got Braylon Allen. People were adding him for some reason. I don't know why. I wouldn't. Warren is the 51% snap share right there. He was injured. He's coming back off injury. Najee Harris had 49%. He had a good game against the Bengals, but the Bengals stink at stopping the run. So if you need, grab Warren now before he has a breakout because he might get more steam later, especially with the offense playing better. We got Rashawn Johnson. I mean, a lot of these running backs are just like they're handcuffed at this point. Their starter is the main person. Hill's a great pickup if Henry gets hurt. Pierce is a great pickup if Mixon gets hurt. Vital had 27% of the snaps, but Gus Edwards is coming back soon. Tucker had 38%, played amazing. 20%, 5.8 yards per carry. That's great. But Bucky Irvin and Rashad White had great games. So, I don't think he's going to see too much time. I don't know too much here about these players, like who to grab other than that. So, unfortunately, if you need a running back, you might have to go trade for one. Wide receivers, McMillan, Dunzi needs to get picked up. He's a top wide receiver for that team. Wilson's a number 2 for them. He's percentage-wise out there a lot. McMillan, a lot of people are probably picking him up because Mike Evans and Godwin got hurt. Someone's got to step up now. Could be Sterling Shepard. He's got more experience. He's a rookie, so he has a shot. So both these players, I would say McMillan and Sterling Shepard have chances to become number 1 receiver for Tampa Bay while Evans is out. Worthy, he should be on all teams because he is in the snappage for a really good team a lot. Let's see. That's all I got. Atwell, 90, 81, 78. I like it, but Cup is coming back, and then shortly after that is going to be the other one. So I wouldn't really worry about it. Okay, so that's wide receiver, quarterback. We did quarterback. Already said it. I would get Wilson. Carr should be coming back soon. So projected 12, 14, 13. He's coming back soon. So if you want to grab him now. Jones had a rough day. Don't grab him. May's playing pretty well. Look at that, 21-20. He's playing really well. Played some bad defenses, Houston and Jackson, but he played really well. So like, if you want to get a waiver on him on that guy and just see how he does, not a bad idea. Defenses. At this point, I like to look forward to playoff, who they play in the playoffs. And I don't like San Francisco. I don't like Minnesota. Don't want the Detroit Lions. You can also go over here and go to season. You can go to season projection. So like they project the Dallas Cowboys better, but the Dallas Cowboys have been awful this year somehow. So let's go to the Seahawks. They've been good. They're playing Minnesota, Chicago, the Rams. Don't love that matchup. New England's always good for somehow. They play Buffalo, Chargers, Buffalo. Dang, that stinks for them. Let's look at Green Bay. They have a good offense, which means that your defense is going to be able to play better. New Orleans, Minnesota, Chicago. I don't hate this. I like New Orleans. I like Chicago. Minnesota, not great, but I mean, that's two good games for playoffs. So kind of look ahead and see what we can do there. Okay. Now we did that. Let's go ahead and look at the future games. So week 8, going on to bottom, we got heavyweights versus Stroop de Whoop. And quickly go through. We got Evans, who is out now. Yeah, put him on your IR. He'll probably be IR listed soon. Deebo Samuel might come back, so maybe don't do that. Collins needs to go on IR. Do that, please. Everyone else is good. Cup is not confirmed back yet, so wait to see on that. And it's a Thursday night game, so put him in your flex so you can take him out later. Oh no, put him in your main roster, main wide receiver spot in case he plays, so your flex is available for Sunday. I would play Goff over Burrow. I think Burrow's projected higher than Goff. I don't know. I don't know. I'm a Bengals fan, so I want to say Burrow's going to do well. Eagles, Philadelphia has not been amazing. So maybe keep him. Maybe keep him. Who's running the ball in Dallas? No one. Oh, 3 people are running the ball. Jeez, Louise, that stinks for them. Wow, that's terrible for Dowdle. Um, yeah, hit that waiver and try to grab some handcuff running backs so you have some for the future in case you need them. But you got Mostert Montgomery moving forward. Mostert's not a starter though, so I don't love that. Don't love that. I don't love not having a starting running back for your first 2 running backs. Like a backup for your flex is decent, but no starting running back, and all you're doing is waiting for Pacheco to come back. So like once Pacheco comes back, you're in business. So I wouldn't do too much, but like definitely see if you can like grab a running back, and then maybe someone gets hurt and they play. All right, so heavyweights, you're playing John. That's an automatic W, right? Oh wait, this is week 7. Oh my gosh, getting tired over here. Heavyweights playing Super Whoop. So, um, Super Whoop. You got to start Swift and Allen, of course. You know that probably. Keep San Francisco defense in there. Dallas is terrible. Take out Chandler for that. Take out Samuel for that. Take out Collins for Allen and maybe Davis. Um, or put Fryermuth in your flex even because Fryermuth he's on the field a lot. So like put him in your flex. So I would actually put Allen in for Samuel. Take Collins. Switch him for Waddle. Take Chandler. Take him out for Swift. Move Swift into your running back 1. Take Singletary. Pull him out. Take Singletary and put in Fryermuth actually. Does Collins? No, Collins. Fryermuth. Hold on. Waddle Collins. Take Collins out. Put in Fryermuth. Take Chandler out. Put in Swift. Move Swift. Switch Swift with Singletary. Take Debo out. Put in Allen. Yep, there you go. So it's a very close game. If you make those changes, you'll probably project to win. But he also has changes to make on his end as well. So I don't know who's gonna win this one. It's gonna be close, and it's 3-4 versus 4-3. So like it could end with them both being 4-4, which is great. I think if Heavyweights makes the changes, he's gonna win that one. Then we got 51st Legion, Big Beautiful Diz. Look at the projection, 102 to 109. I love it. I love it. Let's go. Purdy versus Mahomes, great. Robinson versus Henry, amazing matchup. Connor versus Jacobs, great. These are great matchups going. I mean, this is going to be a great game to watch as it unfolds over Sunday. Is there Monday players? No, we're going to know by Sunday who wins this one. Wow. Anyone in the bench to put in instead? I don't know about Bixby because I think that his other running back will be there. And I do not see anyone to play over. So yeah, you're all set to go. Um, I don't want it to happen, but I feel like Big Field is still going to win. Henry's just so good. Lamb has not had enough good games, so that he's due for some. Higgins is going to have to score versus Philadelphia for us to win that game. So, like, yeah. Let's got Lady Chance versus Team Maverick Miggs. And we got Lady Champs 110, Maverick Miggs 89. Maverick Miggs, you have Taylor and Etienne, who are both projected points, so they could come back and play. Nakua still not playing. Put him on your bench. Ford, I wouldn't start Ford at all. I would go ahead and switch Reed for Nakua. Take Nakua out. Put in Ingram. Drop Wicks. Drop Wicks. Pick up a wide receiver. There's plenty out there. Put him in your other flex spot. Is what you do. Lady Champs, you got Hurts, A-Chain, Cook, Jefferson, London, Bowers, Pickens, and Lockett. I told you before, I would probably start Madison over Lockett. Other than that, you're good. Good to go. I'd hate to run into you in a dark alley. I think Lady Champ's going to win this one. We got Team Kalina versus No Different Scott, 86 to 114. No Different Scott's team's projected higher and higher every week, it seems like. He's got Stafford, Gibbs, Williams, Cooper, Diggs. Ugh, do not like this. Ertz, Mixon, Hill. Having Mixon Hill as your flex is a crime. That's what that is. And Denver D. So, and then he has Hunt on his bench. Like, that's a starting running back. You could trade to somebody if you wanted to. He's got DJ Moore starting wide receiver on his bench. He's looking good. I don't think I'd switch anybody out for him. I think I keep it the way it is. Unless you want to put in Hunt for Hill, because Hill doesn't have a quarterback. That's the only thing I think I'd do. And then we got Stroud, White, Kamara, Neighbors. Godwin's done. Get rid of him. Kittle, Addison, Goder. Goder shouldn't be back. Minnesota. Take out Godwin, put in Judy, and then hit the waivers. And if you pick up one of those tight ends for Tampa Bay, I would sit Addison and play him over Addison. That's what I would do for sure. But I definitely put Judy in there because he just has so many opportunities to score, and Cleveland's gonna get better. Fortunately, they're playing Baltimore, who hasn't been an amazing defense either. So I think with those changes, no different. Scott's still gonna win. His team is just so stacked right now. And that brings us to King of the North versus John. Automatically, King of the North is going to win because John is not making changes. That brings us to 2-6. Congratulations. Still hit the waivers, like I told you earlier. And then we have Historians versus Kuna Matata. 107 versus 95. Pretty close. Only 12 difference. Not a big difference, honestly. Stevens can easily outscore Barkley if Cincinnati plays good defense. Walker Jones, Brown, Chase, even Flowers, A.J. Brown. A.J. Brown has to go there. Kincaid, Florida, even second year tight ends. Robinson, Ayuk. Look, you're projected to lose by 12, and you have a 0 right here. Ayuk is done. Drop him. You put in Chase Brown instead. That's 9 points. You're now projected to lose by 4. So, or 3. So, like, yeah, make that change. And this will be a nail biter, possibly, for sure. For sure. It'll be a nail biter. I'll go with myself winning this one, but it's going to be a nail biter. So, keep an eye on it. And that is my projections. If you stuck around this long, thank you. If you're not part of the Disney Fantasy Football League, go ahead and like this video, subscribe to my channel. Put out every week on Wednesdays. And, check us out at Dizneyverse everywhere on all social media. DIZNEYVRSE. And I will catch you next